Your ideas are dying inside your drafts folder, and it's not because they're not good enough. I'm a therapist, and I've helped my share of people work through perfectionism. But I also have to eat my own dog food on this one. I'm a perfectionist too. After 55 years of being on Earth, I finally understand what's really happening when I endlessly polish instead of publish. First, perfectionism is a protection mechanism, it's not a quality standard. I need you to hear this because you've probably spent most of your life, like me, saying, well, I can't help it if I just want things to be excellent. Here's what I mean by that. Perfectionism protects you from judgment. If it's not done, no one can criticize it. If it's still in draft mode, you don't have to hear what needs to change. And then you convince yourself that you have enough talent and capability to just see what needs to happen. It's a pretty wicked blind spot for perfectionists. When I start something new, I see millions of details that I'm capable of doing. I'm not trying to humble brag, but my career has been all over the map. I'm not just a therapist. I know how to do a lot of things. But here's the trap with that, and I fall into this all the time. If I'm capable of doing it, then why on earth wouldn't I try to get every one of those details right? Well, welcome to my world. That's exactly how the burden of capability becomes the excuse to never ship. Now, right now, I'm doing a 30-day video challenge, and it's exposing this pattern in me in pretty real time. I committed to publishing to YouTube and to my website. My main focus is in getting details like the descriptions and the titles right on those two platforms, not every social media channel. But I've already fallen into the trap of trying to make the formats native and perfect for that platform. It's easy to want to do all those tasks equally perfect, but then I lose focus on what actually matters. The metric I committed to is publishing, not perfection. That has not been my metric before, and it goes literally against every instinct I've developed over 55 years. Now, I'm not really sacrificing excellence if I just do what I can on those platforms, or, shock, maybe I don't publish there at all. Second, the good student trap is the heart of perfectionism, and this might be the biggest one. Go back in time and visit your favorite perfectionist in their youth, and it might be you. There was probably an intense focus on grades, extra credit, and turning in homework on time. Early in life, we learn that perfection means approval. If you get it right, the teacher likes you and you get a good grade. Now, if you know more than the kid sitting next to you in math class, you move to the next grade. That was not me. But that's not actually how life works anyway beyond the schoolyard. The temptation to know more so you can execute better is one of the biggest traps for failure. Worse, it can even keep you from getting off the starting block at all to even get to fail. You don't get ahead by being a good student. You get ahead by taking what you've learned and applying it. Being a good student doesn't put your best work out there. That's a tough one. Pushing the publish button is what does it. Third, the hidden draft protects your pride. When your work is hidden, no one can give you feedback that challenges you. You can futz around with it until your eyes bleed because there's no pressure to make it anything more than what your standards are. When you struggle, you convince yourself your standards are just too high. Yeah, that's the problem. What will people think if you release this into the wild and have to hear from others what needs to change? Or maybe you're like me, when you do release it out there, you give a disclaimer over what you already know is wrong with it. So, for example, with my second video about guilt versus shame, everywhere I shared it, I was quick to say, I realized my voice started at a very high pitch. Hi. There's something in me that wants you to know I saw that imperfection. I don't want you to think I thought that was a good take, because that's kind of a pride issue, right? I mean, that is pride. And behind perfectionism is a whole lot of pride. Number 4, you can't engineer resonance. Here's what taught me that. In therapy sessions, I listen to the client, I give some impressions from what the client's saying, and I point out some patterns I see. And I have to be okay with them saying, no, that's not quite right. Or maybe just even saying, nope, that's not it at all. If I really took that to heart and decided not to share until I felt like it was exactly what the client wanted to hear, I'd never say anything at all. And besides, my clients need to hear my imperfect response because that's me being willing to hold them accountable. Sometimes I really think I bring my A game in my sessions, which is kind of tough. I respond with what I think is like brilliant feedback, and I may say exactly the right thing. And then the client won't even remember it next week. But then another client walks in and tells me, that thing you said last week in session, I haven't been able to get that out of my head all week. I mean, I've just been chewing on it. And it like changed something for them. And I'm sitting there going, I don't even remember saying it. My throwaway comment became their breakthrough moment. So the perfectly crafted response gets forgotten and you never know what's going to land. You have to trust that your experience and knowledge will know where to go. Fifth and last, accountability breaks the perfectionism cycle. I always say stopping doing something isn't a good goal. You need to work towards something you want. It's an outcome that you can see. So the answer isn't to stop being a perfectionist. The answer is to focus on getting it published or shipped. And the best way to do that is to get others on board to help you. People who will lovingly kind of grab you by the scruff of the neck and get you back on track. You have to have those people in your life. And I had several people holding me accountable to the January 1st deadline from my book, 31 Days of Faith Building Moments. And it worked. People checked in on me and said, "How's it going?" Because the last thing I wanted to do was let these people down. And I think my book is better than 80%. I mean, there's some things I would change or add, but you know what? I can just do that in an updated edition down the road if I wanted to. I have to trust that what I put into that book is enough for most people looking to start a Bible reading habit. It's not tough. And when I read it back or I use it in my marketing, I'm actually pretty happy with what I put out. So now that I'm rested and not staying up all night trying to finish this deadline, I have a different perspective. The people who need your perspective aren't waiting for your perfection, they're waiting for your presence. They don't need your perfection, they need your perspective. I'd love to hear from you on this. This is an important topic. What's one thing you've been perfecting instead of publishing, doing it over and over? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to encourage you to finally hit that publish button. Maybe just hitting the publish button on the comment. And if this helped you see perfectionism differently, please subscribe because I'm sharing these right now every single day for 30 days in real time. And I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching. Holy cow, did I do it?